Blessings in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. I know for the last few days I haven't been on, but I just felt led to come on today to make a quick video. As we all know, there are a lot of things going on in the news. The embassies was closed down Sunday and still closed because of terror threats. So we know that something is going on and possibly could happen. But as I was watching the news and listening to Perry Stone at the same time, you say, how do you do that? Well, I just can. Sorry, I just can. And but when it got talking about this thing about the threats and you know, Snowden warning us about the government intercepting our emails and things, I shut Perry Stone down so I could listen to what was being said. The government, after Snowden, which is over in Russia, let the cat out of the bag, sort of speaking, what the government is doing to our email, our phones, they're spying on us. Everything that we say, they spy on. They're collecting data on every one of us. Every one of us. No exception to the rule. They're hearing and wanting to know everything that we say and do and speak of, and so that if in time they can hold it against us. Let me tell you, that's why the FINA camps were created for a future event that will happen. But to ease the panic of what the government is doing, all of a sudden, you know, let's set it up. Obama goes over to Yemen, speaks to the leader of Yemen, comes back, and of course all of those Al-Qaeda that escaped from prisons after this, it was like a chain effect. And then all of a sudden they come up with this, oh, we heard the chatter. We tapped into conversation from all the leaders of the Al-Qaeda getting together on communications and conversing back and forth and planning something serious to happen. Well, it's sort of like a false flag, you know, that so many people talk about, because they had to come up with something immediately to say, okay, Snowden told you the truth, although we want to get him and really convict him for letting you all know what we're doing, you know, because he was of the government, he signed contracts, so he should have kept his mouth shut. And because he opened his mouth and let you all know what we're doing, we're after him. So something had to happen to prove to us, the people out here that are naive and will believe everything our government tells us, that, see, this was necessary. We have to do this so we can hear what the enemy is saying. As if I'm their enemy, or you're their enemy. Are you their enemy? Are you part of the Al-Qaeda? And that's why they are looking at your email, watching everything you say on the internet, and listening to all your phone calls on the cell phone or whatever, your communication? Are you? Ooh, if you are, shame on you. Sorry, that's just in jest. But anyway, they use this as a false flag to tell you this is why we are doing this. That it's important that we do this. So, could there be a lot more to this? Could Yemen's president tell Obama something very, very important that got him so disturbed that he would close down all the embassies over in the Middle East, around in Africa, and even in Yemen? Did the leader of Yemen know something and pre-warned Obama, and Obama decided that we need to warn people and shut the embassies down because we're going to be caught this time, and we don't want another Libya where the ambassadors are killed and things, so let's just shut them all down. So is this the way he is justifying this program that he helped put in effect, or he okayed to be put in effect, to govern everything that we say? Pretty well the only way that it's really truly safe to write anybody and let people know is through the mail, snail letter. But they can intercept, believe me. I know it would be against the law, but if you don't think they couldn't intercept your mail, you're sadly mistaken. Because the law can even come to your trash bin and go through your trash, find your letters, and read them. That's a fact now. They have done it in the past and have convicted people on evidence that they just got out of the trash. So I have begun to believe this was a false flag. Will something happen? Could something happen? Yes, possibly, because I don't think it'll be because of what they're hearing over the line. I think they used it as convenient. Now they're listening because they've been tuned into what's going on, because I believe the president of Yemen told Obama something very, very important, and more so than what is being let known. And when this thing happens, of course, they can point, oh, see, we already knew about this because we heard it. Yeah, you already heard it when the president of Yemen told our president what was about to happen, what was going on. For whatever reason that the president of Yemen would do this, I don't know. I would not have any idea why he would do this unless him and the president has something deeper going on. You see, I don't trust our president. I don't trust our president any more than if I could go up there, pick the White House up physically by myself, pick the White House up over my head and throw it into the ocean. I don't trust him. I don't trust him at all. I don't trust what he's doing. I don't trust his words. I don't trust our president at all for our good of our people. He's done many things that have been contrary to our nation and the help of our nation. I believe when he came into office, he was set in his mind to change America, reconstruct it into a nation that he wanted, and his principles and his ideals, and he slowly began working on it. I think that some of the leaders over there in the Middle East realizes this, that he is a Muslim, that he backs the Muslims, and that he will stand by the Muslims before he will stand for the freedom of the United States when push comes to shove. Do I expect that Sharia law will come to this country? Yes, I do. And when it does, it will be totally against us who believe in Jesus Christ, Yahshua HaMashiach, the Christians. You will then have to make a decision on who you serve. I mean, really, you have to make it now to be born again, okay? But I am talking about a point in time that we will be called on the carpet before our government forces, and you will have to choose whom you serve. If you choose God, Yahshua HaMashiach, you will pay a price for it. If you choose to deny and surrender yourself into the Muslim religion and what they do, then you will live. See, Muhammad even did that. He would come in to take over a country, and he always gave people a choice. You serve Allah and live, or you deny Allah and serve Jesus or God or whatever religion you are, Hindu or whatever. You either serve them and you die. And many died back in that time by Muhammad's hand. But he would give you an opportunity to choose life or death. And many choose not to turn against who they believed in, and they die. It is coming again. This spirit of destruction is coming again. That our president will turn. You know, he's got a few more years. We're already talking about the next election. Will there be a next election? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe there will be something that's going to happen that is so devastating that we can't even have an election. And he will keep on being our president, because it will be such a time of disaster and trouble, and there will not be the quality of time to have an election. But I'm telling you, this is a false flag that has been set up to scare everybody, to put fear in them and say, you know, they were right. They were right. They have a right to go and listen to all of our stuff to keep us safe. We have become a nation that looks to the government to keep us safe. A government of men that are not God or gods. They're just men with their own ideal and their own agendas to achieve upon this earth, in this nation, at this time. We need to really begin to pray, because the darkness is coming upon us. You know, before I got on YouTube this morning, there was a new movie coming out about Thor. And I watched the trailer and I went, wow. Because it's talking about the darkness coming back. And a war going on. Him and his half-brother, or his adopted brother, has to get together to save the world. But you know what? When I seen that trailer, God reminded me of this. Let's go over to Genesis. Okay. Let's see what it says right in the first chapter. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Well, we know that the darkness is of Satan, evil. We also know that the light, in 1 John speaks very plainly that Jesus Christ, Yahshua, is the light. He is the light of the world. He is the light that was sent to pierce the darkness. And people did not understand that. So the darkness is re-arising because there's going to become a time that we will see Satan in Revelation having a war. Let's see, where is it? A war in chapter 10, is it? Let me see if I can get it right. And see, swore, and no, that's not it. In chapter 12, we see that there's a war between Satan and his angels in heaven, because see, he was kicked out of heaven, out of the Holy of Holies and the higher place. See, there's 7 levels of heaven, okay? And even Paul said that he ascended up to the third, okay, third heaven, okay. But Satan was kicked out of the Holy of Holies in the highest part where God dwells because of his sin. But there's going to come a time that the war is going to happen, that Satan and his angels is going to be totally kicked out and totally brought down to earth. And kicked down to earth. For the darkness is coming to cover this earth. All sorts of evil will come, and that's when the Antichrist will arise. Governed and controlled by Satan himself, because Satan gives the Antichrist his power to do all sorts of things here upon earth. So the darkness is arising. Isn't that unique that they would make a film showing Thor and his evil adopted brother fighting to save the earth and to save their kingdom? So we are in a time of great trouble, okay? I truly believe that this was a false flag about the communication thing, but I do believe that Obama knows something is about to happen, not from the I can't even talk, you know, about the leaders talking, and they're intercepting the, you know, transmission between the head leaders. I believe Obama already knew it. He come back. He told Pacific people and told how the plan to let this out and close these embassies down, because he can't afford in his administration for another event like Libya happening with our ambassadors. Darkness is going to be descending, and it is descending now in the form of Satan. I truly believe, and people will say I'm crazy, but that's all right. Nothing new. That something big is coming from outer space. And some people believe it's a planet X or whatever. I believe it's more than that. And it will be tied in with what things will be happening here on earth. We are being prepared as people here on earth to totally put our trust and our hope into a government that cannot and will not protect us when these events begin to unfold before our eyes. There is only one that can protect us and help us in these events. That is Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. He came to die for us. He gave his life for us. He became the sacrificial lamb for us. There is no government, no entity that can come from outer space. And you know, the Hopi Indians teach that we are star children. That's where we're birthed, and that the star people are coming back to earth again to help the people of earth because we are their children. The Mayans pretty well had the same thing. There are other religions outside of Christianity that teach that their star gods are going to come back to earth to help the children here on earth, their children here on earth. You know, there's much mysteries that we don't understand, even in these prophecies that's prophesied, because the evil of these star people are going to come back to earth. And you go, oh wow, you're getting off. Yes, they are. And I still believe it all has to do with what's happening now, of preparing the people's minds. Preparing. Do you understand? Before anything can happen to take over a nation or a country or the world, things have to happen to begin to put and prepare the human brain, mind, into a certain set of accepting what the leaders say that we have to do to compromise with these events that's about to happen. And they talk about compromising. Being able to compromise with everything. We cannot compromise. I'm telling you people, we cannot stand and compromise with the world. Our leaders, whatever may be coming from outer space. Who knows? Thor might be coming back. Ah, you say, how could that be? That's a myth. Was it a myth, or was they talking about a deity that was called Thor that did come back way then? What would he be? A demon. Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, we call them aliens now. Oh yes, that's the nice word for the demons that come and go and do whatever they want to do. But I truly believe that this false flag is very important in our lives today, of getting our mindset in control, for us to believe whatever is going to happen will be from those communications. I don't think so. I think President Obama already knows. He was told by Yemen, and he's using this so that it'll be a false flag, that people will go, oh wow, they did the right thing. They're listening. They're trying to protect us and keep us safe, and they can't. Obama can't. All of our servicemen, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, cannot protect us. They can't. They try. They will lay down their lives for us. They will fight for us. But they have not got the capacity or the ability to totally defend us from radicals that really want to destroy us. Because see, radicals don't care whether they live or die. They don't. And in fact, they glorify in their death by destroying us. So there is no way the military can totally defend us. Look at what happened in the Boston bombing. It happened, didn't it? Now, could the military, if they all was there around, stopped it? Well, maybe, maybe not. We need to wake up and start realizing who we need to rely on, who we need to pray to, who we need to give our life to, for He is the only one that can protect us and save us. Even in death, He's the only one that can save us and keep us from harm. So we have terror warnings that's going out. These people want to really, truly kill us.
People are attacking soft targets. Jennifer Griffin reporting from our Pentagon today. Thanks, Jennifer.
Okay.
Certainly could be big news today.
I was going to listen to that real quick, but I missed it, so that's okay. If our government and these people can keep us afraid and scared, then they can rule our life by fear. I go about my daily business. If I happen to be in a place that one of them sneak in and bomb and I happen to go home, I know where I'm going. Home, to the Lord. I just am. I'm not afraid. I am not afraid of what is coming upon earth. I am preparing my heart, my mind, for whatever will happen, that He will either protect me and I can walk out. I don't care if they set a building and it blows up around me. If God chooses for me to live, I can walk out of that building and not be harmed. That's the way I believe. I totally believe it. I know one person one time, in fact it was Elizabeth Nico, and he was taking me back to the airport with her son, and we were talking about Elizabeth and all of her paranoia and fear and stuff of different things, and the fear of the earth, of up there in Yellowstone, where there's a volcano really underneath there. And she was totally afraid, really wanted to get out of there because of it erupting and killing her. Well, like I told Nico, I said, this is the way I believe. I don't care if I was standing in the mouth of that volcano and it erupted. If God wanted me to live, I would walk through that fire and not a hair on my head would be scorched. If it was not His will for me to live, He would immediately take me home. That is my belief. That is how I base my life on. No matter what happens around me, if it's His will for me to live and be a witness, Father, on this earth, I will live. If it's His will that I come home through this event, I will go home. I will not go to hell. I will go to paradise and be with Him. I know. So we need to understand, with all of this going on, that we are protected by Yahshua HaMashiach, for He is our ark and our shield that covers us, period. We have life after death. We don't die and dissolve and no more be. We walk into another dimension of time in the glorious realm of God the Father, with Yahshua HaMashiach's blood covering us and keeping us from that terrible day of judgment. That is come, that is being fulfilled here on earth, and that one day we will all stand before Him and be judged. Yes, I believe that this is a false flag. I believe Obama knows what is going to happen and will not tell, because he wants it to be blamed. He wants it to be able to say, see, I told you, we told you. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're listening to everything you people say out there. Prepare your lives. Don't be fearful and run around. Like my mother said, they run around like with chickens with their heads off. And that's a true statement, because if you chop a chicken's head off, that rascal will get up and run around without a head on until the heart stops beating and it totally dies. We lived on a ranch. We've killed chickens to eat. So, people, begin to pray. You know, God can move mountains. God can help you in any way that He wants to, and you let Him, and not tie His hands with unbelief and doubt. You need to untie God's hands and let Him do what He has to do with you and for you. This is my little statement about the events that's going on right now and things that could come. I know I mixed in two things, but I think one is the door opening up to lead to the other, because if they can get your mind wrapped around it and you okay it because you feel like it's keeping you safe, then they can do anything that they want and make you believe it. It's like mind control. You have to gradually get people under your control, where whatever you say or whatever you do, you will believe and not doubt or question. That's what's going on here, people. So pray. So pray that Yahshua HaMashiach will become the light in your heart, coming up and overpowering this carnal mind, turning it into a spiritual mind that you can walk, you can talk, and you can live in Him. Because He is the one that will save you, that will rescue you, whether it be in life and death, because He gives you life. So when I say life or death, really I should say life or life, because when you're in Him, this body might die, but this person in here will never die. It will go and be in the presence of God with Yahshua. Think about it. A false flag? Yes, I believe it is. Does Obama know what's really coming down the pike? Yes, I believe he does. Is something bad going to happen? Yes, there will be. Just have faith in Him and trust in Yahshua HaMashiach, please, before it's too late. Blessings.